Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Donna E. Taylor Ministries for another edition of Prophetic Empowerment, where we educate, enlighten, and empower the people of God by answering questions about prophetic ministry. Today, we will address the question: what is the proper biblical way for a prophet to rebuke someone? The proper biblical way for a prophet to rebuke someone is through loving, gentle, and private confrontation aimed at restoration rather than condemnation, and being constructive rather than destructive, and providing an opportunity for repentance. Now, here are some examples of proper biblical rebukes from the Bible. In 2 Samuel, the 12th chapter, verse 1 through 24, the prophet Nathan rebuked King David after his adultery with Bathsheba and the murder of her husband Uriah. In 1 Samuel, the 13th chapter, verse 9 through 14, the prophet Samuel rebuked King Saul because Saul disobeyed direct instructions from God by acting impatiently and offering a burnt sacrifice rather than waiting for the prophet Samuel. In 1 Kings, the 18th chapter, verse 18, the prophet Elijah rebuked King Ahab for leading Israel in intense idolatry by promoting the worship of Baal. And Elijah also rebuked King Ahab for orchestrating the murder of Naboth to steal his vineyard in 1 Kings, the 21st chapter, verse 17 through 24. Now, here are some examples of what would be the improper way for a prophet to rebuke someone. And that would be this: delivering the rebuke without loving, gentle, and private confrontation. Delivering the rebuke with condemnation. Delivering the rebuke with harshness. Delivering the rebuke with personal anger. Calling out sins with hateful or scolding tones rather than gentle correction. Calling out sins publicly before addressing them privately, resulting in gossip rather than restoration, and using a rebuke to control others, manipulate behavior, or to maintain elite status. This type of soulish behavior will make the rebuke more about the prophet's ego than God's intent. Now, listen, if you are a prophet under the sound of my voice, then you need to know today that if you deliver an improper rebuke to someone, that it will put a blot on you in your ministry. It will tarnish your reputation, ruin relationships, cause the person to despise you rather than accept the correction. And it will ruin your credibility and trustworthiness. Now, I pray that I have answered this question in a way that you now have a better understanding and a deeper knowledge on the subject. What is the proper biblical way for a prophet to rebuke someone? Now, if this video has empowered you or enlightened you in any way, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, God bless.